Ready, set, go. These are the three most important words no one told you. No one told you that you were in a race the second you left the womb. But more importantly, no one told you that you were losing this race. We are all in a race. A race to stay relevant and necessary. A race to stay up to date with an ever-changing society. A race to keep up with the deceivingly fast pace of forward progress. More specifically, a race not to become replaced by robots who are becoming better at being, well, you. The race is best visualized with an analogy. Society is a self-building skyscraper. The overall goal is to build higher and reach new heights. With every new story added to the top, the view gets better. But the foundation must endure a heavier and heavier load. With every vertical inch added to that top floor, every cubic inch of the foundation needs to be strengthened. If the speed of building accelerates, the strengthening of the foundation must accelerate at the same pace. It is natural for a skyscraper to build upward, but it is much harder to invest the resources to strengthen the foundation when there's no immediate gain. It is a sprint and a marathon to keep up with technological progress. There is no limit to how far we can go as long as we update our foundation the same pace as our advancement upwards. Unfortunately, we are losing this race. We are thrusting change upon our society without giving it the time or resources to adapt. And the most evident example of this is in robotics. If you walk into any major facility, there are things where things are being made, you will find a robot where a human once stood. In manufacturing jobs not replaced by humans, you will find people being paid wages that are hard to live on. These workers are the last of the Mohegans, staying competitive with autonomous robots only because they scrape by with minimal pay. However, these people too will lose their jobs to technology. Foxconn, one of the largest employers in the world, is currently considering autonomous machines to replace their 1.2 million workers. These jobs are the foundation of the global structure. Recently, Oxford University conducted an in-depth analysis of technology's effect on the US job market. What they found is shocking and a little scary. They concluded IBM's Watson is starting to run medical diagnosis for cancer patients, replacing jobs in the medical fields. Computers with complex algorithms are performing task and data analysis that are replacing paralegals and lawyers. Every job in logistics is expected to be completely autonomous in the coming years, including jobs as truck drivers, ship captains, plane pilots, and Ubers. These will all be self-driver, autonomous. New breakthroughs in AI have put construction, sales, and service jobs all in the high-risk category of being replaced by robots. 47% of US jobs are at risk of being replaced by robots in the coming decades. Advanced computer algorithms could replace 140 million workers worldwide. This sounds like a lot of doom and gloom. People have been fearing change since the beginning of time. Look at the Industrial Revolution. People were worried about their way of life being decimated, their jobs no more. What really happened was the quality of life improved and even more jobs were created from the new industry. In other words, society was quick enough to adapt. The people of the Industrial Revolution built high and had time to make their foundation even stronger. Today is different. During the Industrial Revolution, the race to adapt to the change of society was easy. The rate of technological advancement was at a snail's pace compared to today. Society today is trying to keep up with a supersonic jet. We are progressing at a rate where people aren't even aware of what they need to be adapting to. The technological progress is causing a great economic divide. The rich are becoming richer at the fastest pace in history, and the poor are becoming more plentiful and poorer. And the middle class is losing ground every day. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I'm an engineer, I don't have to worry. Engineers will always have a job. I have nothing to fear. To that I would answer, you are right. You have nothing to fear. But what about your kids, or even your grandchildren? As future engineers who will be tasked with bringing these robots into our society, to disrupt our social fabric and displace our friends and neighbors from their jobs? Do we have a moral obligation to resist? If we truly believe that what is ahead is enacted too quickly, will cause great harm and destroy our culture, should we be assisting this effort and ignoring that what we know will be the outcome? Our political, corporate, and other social leaders need to figure out a path ahead to adapt to these changes. They need to address how the society will employ itself, how those millions without jobs will survive, what responsibility those that prosper from this robot revolution owe to those that they have put out of work. What happens when millions of people don't have a job? What happens when millions of people do not have the means of supporting themselves? The answer isn't pretty. But as an engineer, we do what we want to be complicit in this new world order. Many engineers find it easy to say that they don't have to work on weapons of mass destruction, bombs, guns, chemical agents, things that will cause great harm to our society and culture. I ask you, will we one day say the same thing about working on robots? Thank you.